Hi, this is Brent Lane, and today I'm at Fort Pickens, which is the largest fort that was built to defend Pensacola Bay and the Navy Yard. Pensacola is Florida's second oldest city and has the deepest bay on the Gulf Coast, and has seen ownership changes more than several times in its history. This has been a strategic location for many trying to control the Pensacola harbor and thus control of Pensacola. The fort took 5 years to build, back between 1829 and 1834.
Fort Pickens is an amazing piece of engineering and construction. It's constructed in 5 years with roughly 21.5 million bricks, almost all of them locally made. And it was constructed with slave labor since it was built prior to the Civil War, and although it was built for the U.S. government, it was constructed by a private construction company operating under the supervision of a U.S. Army engineer by the name of William Henry Chase.
This fort was always in the hands of the Union and provided the final blow against the Confederacy, pushing them out of Pensacola for good. Built in the age of wooden warships and cannons firing round balls, the fort underwent changes in response to advances in weapons technology following the Civil War. 10 gun batteries, or smaller forts, including one in the middle of the original fort, were built from the 1890s through the 1940s, each a response to a particular threat.
It's amazing how well preserved this is after being built so long ago.
Interestingly enough, here at Fort Pickens, Geronimo and 47 other Cherokee Apaches were imprisoned from 1886 to 1888.
Local business people actually got together and petitioned their congressman to get the War Department to leave Geronimo here at Fort Pickens, and they actually agreed. It was intended to be a tourist attraction. I mean, from the Army's point of view, he was just another prisoner. But the fact of the matter was, he was so famous that people from Pensacola went through some great lengths to come out and see him, because in those days you had to take a boat out here. Stories are told that he would sell the buttons off of his shirt to tourists, and then he would have new buttons sewn on. They became so popular that the Apaches actually had to petition the Army to close the fort 1 day a week so that they could at least do their laundry in private. Of the 118 years or so of military history at Fort Pickens, those 18 months are certainly amongst the most famous.
Atomic bombs, guided missiles, and long-range bombers made such forts obsolete by the end of World War II, and the Army abandoned the forts. The fort became a popular Florida state park until the creation of Gulf Islands National Seashore in 1971. Following extensive repairs, in 1976, the National Park Service reopened Fort Pickens. I'm Brent Lane, reporting from the Pensacola Gulf Coast.